Good Monday morning motivation. I hope you had a great weekend. I wonder how many of us struggle with temptation. You know, the holidays are over right now, and some of you have gotten on a scale and you're pretty frightened of what you've seen. And, you know, how many of us struggle when you see cakes or other types of food and you know you better not, you should not. And that kind of crosses over to bigger things in life, right? How many struggle with temptations of life that we struggle with temptations that are life controlling or can bring a lot of damage, not only physically, but maybe to your family life. There are just so many types of destructive temptations. And the problem is not the temptations, it's giving in, right? It reminds me of a story of there's a woman who needed to hire a driver, a limo driver. She lived on top of a mountain, and she had three individuals come in and say, listen, I live on top of a mountain. On one side is a cliff that goes up. On the other side is a drop off. How close can you get to the edge of the road? And, you know, how good of a driver are you? Well, the first one says, I can get within a foot of the edge of the road and I'll keep you safe. The next limo driver comes in and says, I can get you to 6 inches of the end of the edge of the road, but I'll keep you safe. And the third driver comes in and says, listen, I'm going to keep you as far away from the edge as possible, and we're going to hug against the upward cliff. And she goes, you're hired. You know, oftentimes we like to live on the edge. We're adrenaline junkies, right? How much can we get away with? How we can push the limits, and we think it won't affect us, but it does affect us. And I want to encourage us and challenge us this week. As Holy Scripture says in James chapter 4, it says, so humble yourselves before God, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Come close to God and God will come close to you. You know what? We've got to make better choices in life. Let's start in 2026 to do better, to be better. And you know, it's not just getting the negative stuff out of our lives or stopping the things we need to stop that get us in trouble or could get us in trouble, but we've got to replace it with good things. And you know how you can do that? You can come to Praise Church and develop a new life and build new relationships and be in an atmosphere that is positive and encouraging. You know, I'm standing on the edge and you say, you shouldn't be doing this. You've got a new hip. If your surgeon would see that, he'd blow a gasket. Yeah, he probably would. But this is how many of us are doing this every day, living on the edge, and sooner or later we're either going to slip off, get pushed off, get dragged in, whatever. So we've got to make some good choices this week. So let me challenge you and encourage you. Make better choices this week. We all have to. Again, it's not the temptation that's a problem because all of us are tempted, including Jesus. Jesus was tempted, but we've got to do better with our decision making. So if I see you on these incredible streets of Garfield, be sure to wave, be sure to shout. We live in an awesome city. Let's keep, developing ourselves, making better versions of ourselves, be better and do better. Have a fantastic week, and I hope to see you all real soon. God bless. Stay away from the edge.